Alright, it's about that time. It's about that time. I feel like I haven't made a RANT video in a while. And I kind of need to get back to my groove of things. I feel like with DNA, I was so locked. I was so excited for that game. And I'm excited for ARK Raiders, but I'm excited more to play the game than like put stuff about the game. And same with this game. I don't feel like this game like needs help or needs anyone's thing. And it's not like a cope game. Like I think Do at Night Abyss was such a cope game for me. And that'll like forever be one of my saddest experiences in gaming, I think. But anyway, talking about this game is not a Do at Night Abyss. I think this game is a solid mobile game. I actually don't think it's as good as Withering Waves. And there are a lot of reasons why I think that. And I could probably do a comparison probably and just explain it. But in general, I think this game is really solid. I think it's like a decent mobile game if you want to put it in your routine. I think it's a lot more like constricting of a mobile game. Like you have to kind of be locked in. And a lot of these systems, they're like really engaging, and they're engaging until you don't have to engage with them. And so, how do you explain that? A lot of these systems, like the AIC and stuff, you get to a point where it's like, oh my gosh, and then you get to a point where you just forget about it because it doesn't even matter because you have it already set up. And then this game is designed in a way where it has all of these systems. You know, all of these systems are just kind of gonna die out, and you just get a buttload of currency, and then you're not gonna do anything with the currency in the future. But right now, it's really overwhelming for all this currency and stuff, and it's interesting. Because then it makes you feel like, hey, I'm doing my dailies and they're not fulfilled. But like, to be fair, I don't need to do this, right? I don't need to do this. This is just like extra stuff, right? You go in and then, right? It's only if you really care about like rushing. But at the end of the day, you just kind of vibe and do what you gotta do. Sorry, I'm blanking out. Right? Because you can only buy so many of these and then they reset. And then after they reset, you go and buy them again, and then, you know, so it's not, none of the stuff is actually really crazy in terms of like, oh, you have to do these dailies, because after a while the currency, like these currencies, they become kind of pointless. I don't know if these shops reset like that, but like a lot of these currencies, they kind of reset. So it's like after a while, like, oh, you get all of these, and then it's like, oh, I need valley engraving permits, and the food would probably be nice later on, like endgame food or something. But I'm pretty sure the best endgame food you plant. So I don't even know that about that, but like the engraving permits are like the only thing that you care about. But after you get every single weapon, every single essence that you need and care about, and every single weapon that you need and care about, you don't really care about these anymore. And then it's just like, okay, I'm just saving up these for what? Probably 15 creds or something. I don't know. But it's something that's a question you gotta ask yourself. But anyway, I feel like I've kind of got off my notes, but that is something I will say. Like a lot of these systems, they feel really overwhelming, but they're not really overwhelming. I'll get into that in a bit. But anyway, I generally don't like the story in this game. I'm not really big on stories in these types of games anyway. Some people are. Some people are like, oh my gosh, the lore. I think the lore of anything can be good. It just depends about how invested you are and how much you want to cope and say it. You could say the lore, you could say, oh my gosh, the world building. But like the way the story is told sucks, and it's just not very good to listen to. So you just skip through the story. I was really invested. I think sometimes you get invested in characters. Like I like Yvonne as a character, so I just listen to all of her story and all of her cutscenes because I just like her as a character. And I'm gonna be building her in a moment, but you know, it's chill. I'm cool with that. It's a gacha game. I don't know. I think the only story I really cared about was Do at Night Abyss, and Do at Night Abyss was a failure of a game, so I don't even care. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think Withering Waves had a really good story. I don't know about the story now, But I know about their story, like, back with Zani, and that story was pretty peak for a gacha game. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not skipping any of this. This is so good. And, like, the thing about it is, I don't know anything about this game's story. But I will tell you, I skipped through Wuthering Waves' story. And, a lot of the thing. And I can boldly say that I know about, like, most of the story. And if I came back into the game and I started 2.1 or whatever, I would know exactly where I left off with what's her name, Lupa, and like the tournament arc or whatever. So I think this game's storytelling needs to be done better, because a lot of the times having a really good, like, what's it called, like a narrative structure, a motive, is very important in a story, and this game doesn't have that, like, structure. And so, like, even if you can't, like, follow the story that well. That's my take on it. So I think, like, this game is just, like, way less superior to Wuthering Waves in that fact, in the mobile department.
Move away when we approach.
Can
it be some form of energy?
What else? I think that it's just not great. It's just not great, and I hope they work on it, because I think they have really good characters and they have really good personalities, and all the characters are really cool and stuff. I just think their storytelling is just like the most corny dog meat storytelling ever. Granted, I haven't done the character stories. I haven't done these, so maybe these can change my mind. And I definitely will probably watch do this story full. But, like, yeah, you know, for right now, the main story, nah, I think sucks. The building in this game is that crazy. Yeah, so many people are like, oh my gosh, this game's so cool. I spent so long building and all of this stuff. I think learning the building is cool, but once you come down to it, the building comes down to yield, usage, make sure all of this is equal. After it's equal, make sure your theoretical is your theoretical matches your both. These are a little bit different because this area sucks. But, like, make sure your theoretical matches your usage, your yield and usage, and that's all you need to do, because as long as you do that, you know, you're completely efficient and you don't have to worry about it. I like how this game does that. It's a good system, but at the end of the day, it's just like, oh, your buildings just need to match this, do this, and everything will be good. And as long as you don't do that, it's lame, right? And the building in this game is weird, because it's like, it sucks because a lot of these games, you don't have to do the story. You can kind of come to the story and do it and be like, oh yeah, I'll explore, I'll do this, I'll do that. No, this game, you have to do the story. And yeah, some areas behind in certain games are unlocked, versus certain parts of the stories. I'm not even talking about like that, like, oh, you're not able to go to Wuling until you do the Wuling story. No, it's not even that. It's more of like, literally, like, you just can't do anything until you do certain parts of the story. And so, like, other games, you would be able to, like, what, like, complete the whole game, and then do the story whenever. And there's certain parts that are like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. But, like, a lot of games don't feel as restrictive as this game. This game, it's like, you feel like you have to do the story. And then you do the story. And then you go and do your stuff in the build. But it's like, oh, I can do the story, and I don't have to engage in any of the building up until I want to. Until I need to. But it's just better that you engage in the story, complete the story fully. After you complete the story, then you engage in the building. Because if you don't complete the story fully, you won't have access to all the building stuff, and then you can't complete your buildings anyway, and you can't get maximum efficiency. So then it just feels lame. It sucks. It's like the worst thing ever. Because then you go and then you do the story, and then you stop for a bit and you're like, oh, let me make amethyst components, and after I make amethyst components, let me make therium components. Oh, now let me make steel components. And then, oh, let me make shearonite components. And then it's like, yo, I didn't need to do any of that. I could have just made shearonite components, and then I could have just been done. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I set up all these factories and did all this stuff and spent like, what, like 5 hours or something doing all that stuff. And all that stuff didn't matter in the grand scheme of the thing. Like, yeah, it's nice to have the extra components because then you could craft the extra stuff, but you could have done that later on. So it's like, it felt really bad to do that. And it sucked. I was like, cool, because now I understand the process. But it's not even that crazy because in terms of building, right? A lot of people are like, oh, let me make the most optimal base in all of this. And like I said before, the most optimal base, it doesn't matter for 80% of things unless you're trying to make really intricate zipline routes and trying to use every single zipline routes. Because when you're building right here, what is it? You can only have like you can only have like a certain number of things put down, and so that's the only reason why having a really efficient base matters, because you don't want to overcap the number of like pylons or something you can put down. That is literally the only reason why build limits matter in this game, because then when you run out of pylons, it's like, oh shit, and then you gotta redo it. And that's why like the building system sucks, because the building system, like, there's so much quality of life in Wuling because you don't even have to put down the little wires. But in Valley 4, you have to put down all the wires in the building system, and it sucks so much. It's like you get to Wuling and then you're like, yo, I don't want to do anything in Valley Forge, because why would I do anything in Valley Forge when everything in Wuling is just so much better? Everything. And it's just like, why? Why do you even want to mess with that area when everything sucks? And it's giving like, what is it called? Oh, Wuthering Waves 1.0, was it 1.0 to 2.0? Where you couldn't fly until like 3.0 or something. Like, it was like completely absurd. I don't know, there wasn't flying until after I left, which was like after like Lupa. Where the electro redhead chick came in, right? Named Agatha or something. I don't know. Where she came into the game. After she came into the game, then it's like, oh my gosh, now we can do stuff in the video game. It's crazy. But until she came in, it's like, it sucked. It completely and totally sucked. And I hope this game just like, and they made quick updates, and I don't know how that didn't go under their radar, where it's like, yo, why can't we put Shiranite pylons in Wuling? I mean, Valley 4. Like, why can't we do that? Why are they region locked to Wuling? It's weird. I don't like when upgrades are like region locked like that, because then it's just like, because a part of me, when I got those pylons, I was like, yo, let me just remove everything I have in Valley 4 and then redo it so I could actually utilize some of my areas. But yeah, that's the only reason why having like, oh, let me get on an efficient mega base matters, right? Because you don't want to run out of those pylons. That was the whole point of me talking about that. And because it's like really annoying, it's like nice to have an efficient base, but you also want to have efficient like zipline routes for all the stuff, so that if you want to do transports, you can do transports, which is nice. Yeah, like, yeah, that's the main thing. Like, and at the end of the day, everyone ends up with the same base. It's just like, oh, I use 3 less pylons than you. Oh, I save space. Saving space in the AIC doesn't matter because you're limited by resources. You don't have unlimited resources in the AIC. Because you don't have unlimited resources in the AIC, it literally doesn't matter how you build your base, because everyone's base is going to be the same. Everyone's end goal's base is going to be the same. It's just how you do it, and it's like, oh, I have this base, but at the end of the day, the simple thing is, on this, when you go to these, you can look at like everyone's base. Everyone, what they're gonna do is they're gonna have this area. This area is gonna have like the batteries, right? You're gonna have like 2 or 3 battery farms, right? in this, and then you're what? You're gonna go over to what's it called? Wait, yeah, you're gonna go over to here, and you're gonna go over here. And your Iridium's gonna have your other Citron. Then your Origin's gonna have your other Citron. No, your Origin. Your Power Plateau's gonna have your other Citron, and then your Valley's gonna have the other Citron, and then that's it. You're gonna have your 3 batteries here, and then boom, 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 Citron, or you're gonna have your Citron, 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 and then battery, battery, battery. I think that's how I have mine set up. I don't remember, but that's how everyone's base is gonna end up. I don't exactly remember because I did it such a while ago, but everyone's base is gonna yield that same efficiency, and it doesn't really matter. And so there are people that are like gonna do it, and the only thing is that the people that like to engage with these systems actually get punished because they experiment with stuff. When it's like, hey, I wasted a day trying to learn this stuff, and then just like it didn't matter because I could have just listened, copied a guy's base and then gotten the same thing. Because all that matters is that you have the materials. And how do you get the materials? You just do the story. You just do the story and you walk around and then you put the pylons. That's literally it. And then you have to get the stock bills and then get the regional development. That's literally the only thing. Right? So there is a time where you kind of want to progress. So it's like, while you're doing the story, you do kind of want to go and make the ferrum components and all those components and stuff, but you don't really have to. You can just go and then just like farm and then just do Originium, and then after you do the Originium, then you do blue batteries. After you do blue batteries, then but you don't really have to, if you want me to be honest. You don't have to. You could skip that step, which sucks. But you generally kind of do. But it just like, yeah, just spam the story and then just go to gold gear. I hate that. And the fact that building everyone's base is kind of the same, and that all these outposts right here, they all have the same they all have the same things that they want. And at the end of the day, these don't change, and none of this changes. So it's not dynamic or anything, so it doesn't matter. At first I thought this like system was dynamic. It's not. So it doesn't even matter. It literally doesn't even matter. Which sucks. And I wish it changed, but it doesn't, so it just makes everything the same. Like, wouldn't it be cool if like you go to Valley 4 and you go here, I mean, and then you go to this and then you see, oh my gosh, one day it's Sheer Night, one day it's Wuling Bay, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know? Or maybe it changes throughout the week, so then you could like set it up for the week, and it's like, hey, this week, I think it'd be a cool system. I think it'd be cooler just so you can have like some variety. It would suck so much, but like it would give the builders like a thing to do. Hey, this week is Wuling, let's do our Wuling base, and it'd give people content to talk about, I'd say, right? Which I think is cool and engaging. Oh my gosh, we're already 20 minutes in and I'm not even done. Literally what I'm doing right now, I think this sucks. Having to gather the upgrade materials is like the worst experience ever. It's horrible, it's time consuming, and I'm not locked in, and it's taking so much more time than it should. And it's like, oh, just build routes and stuff. Dude, it's so lame to build the routes, I'm not gonna lie. After a while, you kind of hate engaging with systems. You're like, oh, the zip lines, use the zip lines, and then it's like the zip lines don't even feel that fast because you have to engage with the zip lines. They need to make the zip lines feel better. I don't know. It sucks that you go on the zip line, it stops, and then it goes, and then it's like, oh, it's supposed to be a faster wave travel, and it's not even that much faster. It's just good for like getting over elevation and stuff. That is literally the only thing that's good about the zip lines. I don't know. The zip lines still need to be next to pylons and all that stuff. I mean, I hope they add an upgrade for it, but who knows? That sucks. Oh. So the mint collecting sucks, and then like the mint collecting sucks, and since the mint collecting sucks, it's like it adds up. It adds up when you have dude. Why is this like this? when you have doo-doo mint collecting and gosh, sucks. When you have doo-doo mint collecting and then you do all of this mint collecting, collect your stuff. Collect all this stuff, right? It feels really bad. It feels really bad. And the thing is, people coming in 2.0 are like completely cooked in terms of the mint collecting. It's over. Because the thing about the mint collecting aspect of the game is that you have to collect stuff and do stuff, and it takes so much time. But you have to engage with these systems. And so when we're in 2.0, we would have completely engaged with the systems. But now, new players are going to be completely cooked when all these systems come out. And we don't know how these are going to get modified in the future. But, like, these games don't care about that stuff. They don't really think about that stuff from most people's experience. And so their systems that stack on, get left in the dust, get overwhelmed, and you have to do so much. Which gives you a lot of content to do as a new player, but then it gets super overwhelming, and then it's like, what's the point? It sucks. It feels like a waste of time. And then, like, the stock builds and stuff, they suck. They do. I hope they get fixed. I do. Lastly, I think we could just do the dude, end it off with the combat. Oh wait, we have one more thing, but yeah, I think we'll do a dude and then we'll come here. I think the PvP in this game, the PvE whatever you want to Pvs whatever, it's really good. It's really solid. I'm using the premium team, so it's like whatever. I think it's good. I think the only thing that sucks is the cooldown. And the rotations are really tight, and so it doesn't feel as like great as like Wooloo's combat feels and stuff. And obviously it's not supposed to. I think Wooloo's combat is probably like the best combat in all of like gotcha game. I messed with the combo anyway, so what am I talking about? But right, it's probably like the best combat in terms of all these mobile games. But like having to wait for skill points, it sucks. And I understand I didn't do this combo right and all that rotation stuff, but it still sucks. Yeah, let's see if I can skip. Oh, might suck. But
none shall live.
It does suck. It feels really bad because right now, I'm limited by my character, so my character can't really use her skill to apply like susceptibility or whatever to then continue the rotation, which feels, oh my, it feels so bad. And granted, I'm not doing the best combos in the world. I'm really not. It is really bad combos, but the combat really doesn't feel that great to do. And do I think it's supposed to? No, but I don't know. When you're fully locked in and doing everything right, okay, now it sounds like I'm just BSing, but with this gameplay. But it just doesn't feel that amazing. Come on. Sometimes it's really cool and flashy though. But I say that the combat is like a 9 out of 10, just because I don't know. Maybe we're just missing like a really good like SP regenerator or something. And I think that'll probably break the thing. I think we just gotta wait for the Giga 6-star regenerators. I think it's because all the SP regenerators are 4 stars except Pog, and so we just gotta wait for those. And then lastly, all the paid aspects of this game suck. I really do believe it. Where is it? Where is it? Right here. I was just looking at this and I had a shower thought. What is this? Oh, that's cool. I had a shower thought. I was like, the monthly pass in this game is kind of trash. The monthly pass in this game. I think the currencies, this currency being the what is the Genesis crystals and this currency being the Primos, being different sucks so much. It hurts your brain. You need to know, oh, you need to have 67 in order to have a temple. Is that what it is? 67 of these in order to have a temple of these. It's super annoying and it sucks. I don't like that. Oh, and they show you the exchange like when you're doing the polls and stuff, but it still sucks. The bundles right here, like it's 67 plus 48. And this not being $100, it's 70, and people go, oh, it's cheaper. It sucks because it's just like you don't really know what's going on here, money wise, and it's really hard to put that number. Normally it's like $100 to do 5 pulls in these games, and then you kind of can't really like suss it out. Was it 67? Oh god. Was like 3 pulls? So it's about the same probably. I can't do the math on it, but I can tell you in game, like the monthly pass doesn't give you as much pulls daily like as the other games, which feels bad. And then you take into account that, oh, this game is supposed to be free to play friendly and all this stuff. And a lot of the systems are really free to play friendly. But then there are other systems that suck. Like this Arsenal system. It's like, oh yeah, you have the 3 banner system for the characters, which is really cool. Because you can get the other characters and it's like, yeah, I got Yvonne. And then, oh, you could skip a banner and then just hope you get the character. So like, let's say you don't really want a character, but then you get a character, right? It's actually like a good feeling, and it's like, oh, I didn't want that character, but now I cannot feel like I didn't miss out on anything because you kind of got the character from winning a random 50. And I'd say the rates, they're about the same as the rates are the same as Withering Waves, and I think Withering Waves has, I'd say like give Withering Waves like 0.9 instead of 0.8, and I like the rates and Withering Waves. But you can still get doubles on Withering Waves, so I think like the rates and stuff are really solid for one of these mobile games. I don't think they're great, but I've always said 1%, $1 is like what I think a good gacha game would be. I think it'd still be trash, but I think like in terms of like pull and all that stuff, I think that's it. I love Guardian Tales, and I think that's Nikkei. Like I think those had good things, but they're just different tiers of games. These are like the AAA gacha games, and it's how it works in the system. This system is really confusing too. It's all over the place, but it kind of makes sense after a while. I don't even know what this is for. I think maybe this is for like after you get max potential weapons or something. And then all of these. It's really dank when you get into this stuff. I don't think the pulling thing, I didn't think the pulling thing was complicated at first, but then it kind of gets to this weird thing where it's like the system got really complicated after, oh, you 3 pulls, after 3 temples you get a free pull, a free temple. After 30 more, basically 60, you get another pull for the next banner. It's like really weird and convoluted, which then sucks because like, hey, if I'm doing this banner but then I want to skip the next banner, it feels lame. It's like cool, but then it's just like, it sucks. But it can help you get a character you didn't want, and then it kind of gets you to the point where it's like, hey, well, I already did 1, let me do 2 more. So it's all kind of baity and stuff. And like I said before, like I think this game, like it really like goes for the dolphin or like the medium spender. It doesn't go for the high-end spender. So like no like mentally brain dead person I'd feel would like swipe in this game, because it doesn't actually add power or anything cool to your characters. The characters are just good on their own. It's just like, well, I mean, only the really, really mentally ill people, but there's no point in doing that. Yeah, this is my rant. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to, yeah. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.